Hey guys, Poro here with another MSI 2023 video, again with more predictions for the play-in stage. Like last time, we'll look at what drafts came out on stage and talk about what might happen from the performances shown. This video will cover the matches between Golden Guardians and BLG for bracket stage qualification, and GAM vs Rainbow 7 to determine who gets eliminated from MSI. Like yesterday, both Golden Guardians and BLG swept their series 2-0, but unlike yesterday, neither series had any remotely close games. Golden Guardians looked sketchy for all of 5 minutes when they got dove top and then failed a bot dive, but then proceeded to stomp GAM due to some dragon fights that GAM definitely should not have tried to fight. Game 2 was even worse, as that game was a slow burner where GG outmaneuvered GAM at every step. The picks from Golden Guardians were pretty fun actually. We got a Poppy top, 2 Viego picks, and even Huhi's signature set support. Everything actually looked solid all around, with Licorice even holding his own after being counterpicked. BLG also stomped their games, essentially playing around for fun as if it was solo queue. Shun got his carry picks, including his signature Nidalee. The one sore spot for BLG was Yagao, who got completely gapped in lane in Game 2 on the Jace pick. When it comes to these two teams matching up in the next round, I expect BLG to be favored. Golden Guardians may have looked clean today, but that felt much more like a GAM collapse and GG being consistent with how they played in LCS playoffs. Same for the flip side. Even though BLG looked quite messy with random aggressive flashes and invades that didn't go well, it felt more like they were playing around to have fun instead of going all out. Props to Licorice for holding it down in top and being more consistent than I thought he would, but it's still Bin he's going up against. Gory vs Yagao might also seem Gory favored at first, but Yagao completely clapped Gory in their matchups when Gory was in the LPL. The only even or possibly slightly winning matchup for Golden Guardians is River against Shun, but even this is contestable as it seems like the meta is leaning towards carry junglers, which is definitely more in Shun's ballpark. I've got BLG taking this series with 80 to 20 odds. GAM vs Rainbow 7 is also an interesting matchup to look at, as I definitely overestimated GAM coming in even if I had them at C tier, and I also feel like I underestimated Rainbow 7, who are probably closer to D tier. GAM had some super weird drafts. Kiaya refused to play non-carries. Game 1 was fine because it was a counter pick, but Game 2 was a blind Fiora in a spot where a tank would have been amazing. Levi also blind picked Gragas in a spot where Wukong was open, despite Wukong easily being his best performing champ in Spring. Same thing for Katie, who refused to play Lissandra despite it also being open and his best champ in Spring. I want to see how GAM look when they actually have their playoffs comps, but it did look pretty messy regardless. Rainbow 7 went with some more traditional comps, although Elise Asol mid-jungle duo seemed like a weird pairing. Either way, I was pretty impressed with how the top side held up. Bong was clearly worse than Bin, but not in a way that made me feel like Bong was bad. Adi and Miru definitely showed up to this series as well. Seo and Leons were completely outclassed, and I don't think R7 was prepared to be dove off cooldown on every single stacking wave. GAM is a team who's willing to stack waves and dive, so R7 need to figure out how to manage those situations quickly. I think GAM still has a winning jungle and bot matchup, but I'm not so confident about their solo lanes anymore. I could see avenues where R7 can slip their way into the series. That being said, the VCS and the LLA still have historically not looked equal on the international stage, with VCS 2 seed beating the LLA at Worlds in 2022. I've got GAM winning with 65 to 35 odds. That's all I've got for this one. We get to find out who qualifies and who has to play for the last chance qualifier in the next couple days, so I'll see you all then. Bye.